Hey up, it's Steve from that old Yorkshire Geek, and welcome to Magnificent Monday's episode, I've forgotten, 49. This week we're doing a little film called Jurassic Park. You might have heard of it. But before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell, and all that jazz. We're live on YouTube. We should be live on Rumble, I hope. I've refreshed it. Is it going to come on? Is it going to come on? Yes, so we're live on Rumble, and we're live on Twitch, right. And Win Grace is here. Did anyone in this film go on to do anything significant? I don't think so. Like I say, a little indie film like this. They probably just went back to their day jobs. Anyway, so Jurassic Park from 1993. Everybody's seen this film. If you haven't seen this film, you live on a desert island somewhere, or you're from some Amazonian tribe in the middle of the jungle. It's the first autograph that Aidan got, my son, from a convention. He got the autograph of Ariana Richards. There it is. Got her autograph at a convention. His very first one, I can't remember what year it was. 2015, 40, 60, I can't really remember. I can't remember. Anyway, so there we go. So he got her autograph. My first autograph was Kenny Baker at the same convention. Right, so that's that. Hang on. Now I've shown you that and get rid of it. There we go. Hey, just bear with me. I'm sorting things out. Right. Info, Jurassic Park. Obviously directed by Steven Spielberg, based on the book by Michael Crichton. I think he bought the rights or acquired the rights to the book. I think before it were even published. I think Michael Crichton showed Spielberg, his, pre-published, whatever, his manuscript or whatever. And Spielberg says, I'm buying this to make into a film. Before it were even published, I think. Anyway, screenplay was by Michael Crichton and David Koepp. I mentioned the other day, didn't I? But I didn't know how to pronounce his name. And I was pronouncing it Cope. Because it's Koepp, but it's pronounced Koepp, apparently. According to the behind-the-scenes thing I saw today, anyway. What else? An amazing score by John Williams. Great cinematography from Dean Cundy. Stars Sam Neill, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum, Richard Attenborough, Bob Peck, Martin Ferrero, B.D. Wong, Samuel L. Jackson, some little actor, Wayne Knight, Joseph Mazzello, and Ariana Richards, and some other bloke who we won't mention till we get to him. And it had a budget of, what was its budget? $63 million. Quite a hefty budget for back in 1993. And while they were in post-production for this, Spielberg were away in Poland filming Schindler's List. So he had a busy year, 1993, because both films, I think for the 1994 Oscars, both films were up for Oscars, and both films won Oscars. I think Jurassic Park won 3, and Schindler's List won a hatful. I don't know how many, but so he did well in 1994. Did Steven Spielberg? Wingray says, to paraphrase him. What does him mean? The only people in the universe who have never seen Jurassic Park are the characters in Jurassic Park, and that's because they lived them. Ted. That's because they lived the park. How I Met Your Mother. Right, How I Met Your Mother. Right, him. I've never seen it. So, yes. What else? I think that's about it, isn't it, really? Famously filmed in Hawaii. The exteriors that's supposed to be in Costa Rica on the island. Hurricane came along and, scared them for a bit and disrupted filming. But anyway, right, so let's get on with it, shall we? But before we start, don't forget, have I said this? Like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell. If I've said it already, I'm saying it again. We're live on all those things. Yes, I did say it, didn't I? So we'll just get on with it. As usual, we'll not just be playing the film, because I get into trouble. I'll probably get a copyright claim because Universal are terrible copyright claims. So I'll probably get one from the intro. But we're watching it in a series of stills. May show the odd snippet. Like I said, I've got to be careful because it's Universal. They're nearly as bad as Toho. Anyway, right, so off we go. So first up, I've got to do that, right, and then make myself teachy tiny in the corner of the screen. There we go. And off we go. Right, the film begins. Here we go. Right, the good old Universal logo, there it is. Off it comes round. Universal. And then we begin. Jurassic Park. No messing, just gets on with it. And we begin. We see some trees and rustling and stuff like that. We think, oh, there's a dinosaur coming, but no, it's not. We're on Isla Nublar. There's Bob Peck as Muldoon, the kind of gamekeeper of Jurassic Park. He's got a gun. There's others with guns or with the Jurassic Park patches, and there's fellas with shock sticks, I suppose you could call them. Anyway, so what comes through the trees? It's not a dinosaur. It's a forklift truck carrying a big crate. I'm not entirely sure how Jurassic Park works. Because in Lost World, we find out there's another island where they raise the dinosaurs before they move them to the main park. But then we see them being born in... I don't know. But anyway. So in this crate, there's a fully grown, I presume, velociraptor. Of course, everybody knows, if you're into dinosaurs, velociraptors weren't, 5 feet tall and 12 feet long or whatever. They were teeny tiny. I think they were 4 feet long, weren't they? A couple of feet high. But during the making of this film, they actually discovered Utah raptors, which were actually a bit bigger than the raptors seen on here. And I think it's Stan Winston that said, we made them and then they discovered them. So there you go. So really they're Utah raptors, not velociraptors. There we go. Isla Nublar, 120 miles west of Costa Rica. It doesn't exist. Don't try and look it up. I've tried. It's not there. It's not there. The 5 deaths are not there. Isla Nublar, Sauna, Matanceros. I can't remember. I've played the game. And it names them all. Peña. I can't remember. They don't really exist, unfortunately. That's what they want you to think. Yes, because they don't include them in any, like Area 51. Anywho, right, so here we go. They're introducing a new raptor into the park. So, is this the big one? Because we learn later on that the reason had 8 raptors, and they introduced the big one, and she killed all but 2 of the others. Is this her? I don't know. It doesn't tell us. Some people say, this is an amazing, perfect film. Far from it. But it is an amazing film. I do love it. But there are quite a few, weird, odd mistakes, oversights, stuff like that in it. Anyway. Particularly how they're doing this. It's all very manual. It's supposed to be no spared, no expense in doing Jurassic in this. And then they've got men lifting gates and stuff instead of having it all done, mechanically or, with big machines. Anyway. So here we go. So they push the thing up. There it goes. Then they're saying, loading team, step away. Old Bob Peck, who's died now. Aidan will keep telling me. He tells me every time we watch this. He's died now. So this is Godfrey. Godfrey, raise the gate. This chap is not going to be long for the world. So he raises the gate, and then there we go. The raptor, got to be careful, rushes the gate and knocks him off. And for some reason, it does that, and it makes the crate, whatever you want to call it, container, roll backwards. So why doesn't it escape out into the park and start eating everybody? It doesn't. It just stays in there. It's the Odyssey of Flight 33. I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that. I'll have to look it up. I'm going to look it up now. You've got me wondering. Right, what's that? It's a Twilight Zone episode. Oh, right. I see. I've not seen all the Twilight Zones. I've seen all the Outer Limits, but I've not seen all the Twilight Zones. And I think I've got them on my computer somewhere. Obtained legally, of course. Right, all right, an aeroplane goes back to the prehistoric age. Right, Right, I'm going to have to look that up now. I imagine the effects in it are amazing. Anywho. Right, so there it goes rolling back. And it grabs, poor Godfrey's there. The raptor grabs hold of him, pulls him in. Don't let her get out. And then it's poor, I think it's Godfrey. It's basically eating him alive. There we go. Muldoon's trying to hold on to him. Then he's going, shoot her! Shoot her! So obviously this isn't the big one because they're going to kill this one, aren't they? They're shooting it. Just realised. Shoot her! And that's where he's shouting that. And then we cut to, we hear gunshots and all that, and then we do, a fade in to this place, which is it going to tell us? Well, it tells us we're in somewhere else. There we go. Mano de Dios Amber Mine, Dominican Republic. Is that an island? I think that's an island, isn't it? In the Caribbean, I think, Dominican Republic. And this is Mr. Gennaro, who's the lawyer who's going to get eaten by a T-Rex later. Spoilers. But this chap, he says something in Spanish. Hang on, there it is, this bit. And I don't speak Spanish, but apparently he says, I guessed actually what he's probably saying, but apparently he's saying, I bet you, 5 pesos or whatever, that he falls over or slips or something like that, which he does in a bit. So here he is talking to this chap, who is apparently Jurassic Park's main source of amber, because that's where we learn to get the dinosaur DNA from. So, that's where he slipped, by the way. See if we can... there he goes. So, apparently, but he's not there. He was expecting to go and see John Hammond, who expected to be there, but he's not. He's not there. He's gone back to deal with some family business. But he takes him into the mine anyway, for some reason. And this is where we learn they've already got Ian Malcolm, but they want somebody else to sign off on the park. And they want Alan Grant, and this chap says, "Oh, you'll not get Alan Grant." Says, "Why not?" Says, "'Cause he's like me. He's a digger." And then we see that they've got another piece of amber. There you go, with a mosquito or whatever it is within. So there we go. Then we cut to. By the way, I don't know where that was filmed. That was probably filmed in Hawaii, wasn't it? I've got the filming locations here somewhere. Just bear with me. You know what? Don't bloody say it. Oh, here we go. Yes, that's in Hawaii. Hupi Falls, and on Kawak in Hawaii. The island of Kauai. I don't know how to pronounce it. Kauai. I don't know. It's in Hawaii anyway. Bloody hell. Right, so anyway, we're here now. We're in supposedly in the Badlands of wherever. What's it going to tell us? And people are uncovering what looks like a velociraptor. There we go, Badlands. There we go, Montana. A velociraptor fossil. This one filmed in Montana. I'll tell you where this one was filmed. Where does it say dinosaur dig? It says somewhere. In California, in Tehachapi or Tehachapi, I don't know, pass. California, so it's not in Montana, so they're lying. By the way, it's super rare that you'd find a dinosaur's, fossil like that. They're usually in bits and pieces. They find bits and pieces of dinosaur fossils. Remember, they're not bones anymore. Once they become fossilised, they're not bones, they're rock. It's essentially an imprint, that's turned into rock in it. But very rarely you find them like that. I think the most one I've seen that's like a complete impression of a prehistoric creature, wasn't actually a dinosaur. It were the Archaeopteryx that were found in Germany. That's more like that. But anyway, whatever. So here we are. So we're at this is what's his face? Alan Grant's dig, and Here we go. And Dr. Sattler, who's his girlfriend for this film. They must have had some sort of falling out because she's not his girlfriend anymore by the time we get to the third one. But I think they get back together, don't they, for Jurassic World Dominion. But anyway, here we are. So they're testing this, it's what they call it, ground penetrating radar thing, where they shoot a shotgun shell into the ground, the vibrations or whatever. They calls it radar. Shoot the radar into the ground, but it's a bloody... It's a shotgun shell they fire. But anyway, whatever. And the vibrations or whatever, they tell us what's down there. And so this is where we're going to see. There we go. They've uncovered another raptor. And Josh Temple's here. Harpoon at the ready, which will be needed later. So anyway, it's where we learn that Alan Grant's it doesn't work well with machinery, electrical machinery, which doesn't really go anywhere in the film but it shows it touches it. Is it going to show it? Whatever. There we go. It makes the screen go funny because he's not machine compatible, as Ellie says. Ellie Sattler, played by Laura Dern. By the way, that's Laura Dern. That's Sam Neill. Who's a New Zealander. Originally, they wanted, I've forgotten, William Hurt to be Alan Grant, but he decided he didn't want to do it. They also asked Richard Dreyfuss. I think he'd have been quite a good Alan Grant. And who else? Harrison Ford. When I first saw this, I thought this role was written for Harrison Ford, the hat and everything. But it wasn't, but he was in the running. But they went with Sam Neill. What does it say? I've seen it somewhere. Bear with me. William Hurt, Kurt Russell, Richard Dreyfuss, Harrison Ford, Tim Robbins, was about 9 feet tall. So they were offered the role. Kurt Russell and Richard Dreyfuss were considered too expensive. William Hurt turned it down without reading the script. Harrison Ford and Tim Robbins were also offered the role, so they must have turned it down. Then Sam Neill came and said, "I'll do it." So there we go. And Laura Dern was Spielberg's first choice for the role of Ellie Sattler. Don't know why, just what. But they also had Robin Wright, Juliette Binoche, Stacey Haydock. I know that name. Was she in Sequest DSV? I think she was, wasn't she? Gwyneth Paltrow and Helen Hunt. They all auditioned for the role. But anyway, there we go. Right. So the learn is not machine compatible. He makes electrical equipment go do lally, but that doesn't go anywhere in the film. I don't know if in the original script it did. I don't know, but anyway. It has no bearing whatsoever on the film. Anyway, so this is where he's telling the tourists that are around that dinosaurs were the forerunners to birds, and they're all laughing, so he's explaining it. And then we get the obnoxious kid who says, "Now, that doesn't look very scary. It's like a 6-foot turkey." There we go, there he is. I've forgotten his name. He's been in a few films. He's been in one of the Nightmare on Elm Street films, and I've forgotten his bloody name. So just bear with me. Come on, where are you? Where are you? You're here somewhere. Where are you? I'll know his name when I bloody see it. I know his name when I see it. Do you know what? He's not bloody credited. I can't see it anyway. Not on IMDb anyway. No, that's weird, isn't it? That is weird. And I can't remember the kid's name. Anyway, we're in one of the Nightmare on Elm Street films. He played the Dream Child. I can't remember his name, but anyway, there he is. Some people have suggested this is the Chris Pratt character as a kid from Jurassic World, but he's not. Anyway, so he says, he don't think it's very scary that dinosaurs evolved into birds. So Alan Grant gives him his little speech about being eaten alive by a velociraptor. Then he gets out his velociraptor claw, and there he is. There it is. Look, and slashes at the kid, probably scaring him to death. Where's his parents? Don't know. But anyway, so he says, show some respect because you're still alive while they eat you because they're spilling your intestines. Well, lions and hyenas will still eat something when it's alive. I saw a video on YouTube. I think it was YouTube. They were eating this bison. It was still alive and they were ripping chunks off it. It was horrible. But nature. Anyway. I think that were lions. It was lions or hyenas. I can't remember which. Anyway, so this is where we learned that they're together and she wants a kid. He don't want a kid. He don't like kids. Kids are smelly, etc. But she's been all scientific and been, oh, yeah, breed of child, Dr. Grant will be very, intriguing. And then a helicopter arrives. It's got John Hammond aboard and it's blowing everything away. Cover it up. I don't think a bit of helicopter dust will do much harm. But it's been there 65 million years, for Christ's sake. But anyway. So that's where we learn. John Hammond's there, opening their champagne. And he said, we were saving that for today, I guarantee it. Because he's supposed to be Scottish, is John Hammond, apparently. So, anyway. So this is where he asks them to go and check out the park. He doesn't say, he says, I've created a... She's starting. Bloody cat. Good, I'm just going to let the cat out. Just bear with me. What are you doing? Do you want to go out? Come on, then. Come on, I'll boot you out. Yes, I will. Come on. Bloody animal. Where were we? I've forgotten. Oh, yes, he's got a wildlife, he calls a wildlife preserve, but makes the one he's got in Kenya look like a petting zoo, so he must have other stuff around the world. He's a rich man. He's also the boss of InGen, which is the genetics company. So, anyway. Which we learn in Jurassic World, the second one, which I forgot what it was called. The second Jurassic World one, that he had a partner, which we'd never hear until that one, played by the farmer from Thingamabob. Anyway, whatever. Right, so where he asked him to go, and he says he'll fully fund your dig for another 3 years. So they go, oh, okay, then fair enough, we'll go. Right, so they're off. We learn that she's a paleobotanist as well, is Ellie Sattler. So we'll get to that. He's going to need that dust buster in a minute, isn't he? Because he's covered in dust. Isn't there? He's going to need that, isn't he? On his head. So they all agree. So there you go. Fully compensate. Fully funding your dig for 3 years. So they go, okay, yay. Right, then we cut to, this is supposed to be the capital of Costa Rica, which I've forgotten what it's called. This is Dodgson, who's played by another chap in Jurassic World Dominion. This is Cameron Thor, who's a naughty man in real life. Went to prison. Anyway, so here he comes. That's where we meet Dennis Nedry, who's eating something. He's a baddie. Only in this film, though. I'm sure he's a lovely person in real life. Anyway, Dodgson comes to the famous. Oh, he says, you shouldn't. He calls out to him. He says, Dodgson. He says, you shouldn't use my name. He goes, Dodgson, Dodgson. Here's Dodgson. Nobody cares. So anyway. So it's where we learn they're paying him $1.5 million to get, I think it's 15 embryos out of Jurassic Park. Because for some reason, Nedry is a bit of an idiot. He's like a computer genius, but he must be an idiot with money. Because I don't know how much. We learn later on that he bid for his job at Jurassic Park, but obviously were too low. Because he's always saying he never gets paid enough. So now he's getting $1.5 million off whatever the name of the company is. I've forgotten. That Dodgson runs or works for. He ends up running it. But anyway. So the famous Barbasol can that he's got to get these samples out in. I bet their sales went through the roof after this film. Pardon me. I bet it did. Anyway, so there we go, showing him that. Oh, well, then he says you can even use it, it even works. And so then he sprays a load of it. I thought, well, just steady on. It's not a full can. Anyway. So there we go. So he's got to meet 7 o'clock tomorrow night on the East Dock. So, right. Apparently there's several docks on Jurassic. There's a North Dock as well. But it's the East Dock. I looked on a map. I looked online for a map of Jurassic Park. So I thought, why is he? Because later on we see he drives through the park itself. There's Nedry. We'll see. We'll see it later. And I think, why is he driving through the park? Surely there'd be a straight, a safe road from the visitors' centre where he was to the docks. Where everybody's been evacuated to. But no, he goes straight through the park. Shortcut? Don't know. But anyway, don't make a huge amount of sense. Right, so, yes, and it says to Dodgson, he wants him to pick up the bill. Says, don't get cheap. That was Hammond's mistake. And thought, well, no, you said that's what you bid. So you made an offer. You said, I can do this job for X amount of dollars. And obviously John Hammond said, fine, I'll pay you that then. So it's his own fault. Stupid idiot. Right, another helicopter. This time it's not Airwolf, although it looks like Airwolf. Heading to the island. This is where we meet Jeff Goldblum. There he is, as Ian Malcolm, a chaotician. There he's with Gennaro. And obviously he's got designs on Ellie Sattler. Of course, she's an attractive young woman. But he doesn't know that she's with Sam Neill. Right, so so they're on the way. We're learning that John Hammond's not a big fan of Ian Malcolm because he's a mathematician essentially, not a proper dinosaur scientist. Anyway, so there we go. There's the InGen logo on the helicopter. Here we are. We're arriving in Hawaii. It's supposed to be Isla Nublar. All right. And for some reason, Sam Neill can't find the proper. There we go. Seat belt. He's got two female connectors for some reason. Well, you just have to fit it. Be there somewhere. But obviously, they're all idiots in this film, so he just ties it up. He's fine. There we go. He just ties it up like that. Right, the helicopter lands. There we go. So out they get. And they jump in a couple of jeeps. The helicopter takes off again. The helicopters don't hang about, apparently. They head straight back to the mainland for some reason. You'd think they have an emergency one there, just in case, wouldn't you? But anyway, so here they go into the park through the perimeter fence. So they're driving through. This is where Gennaro's asking if everything's ready, concrete moats, motion sensor tracking systems, etc. He says, yes, try and relax. And then Gennaro says I think he gets this line wrong, myself. He says, your investors, whom I represent, are deeply concerned. And then he says, in 48 hours, is he going to say, hang on, got wrong way, too far. There we go. 48 hours from now, if they're not convinced, I'm not convinced. No, it shouldn't be the other way around. He's gone there to check on the park. Because he's talking about the investors. Or is he talking about the scientists? I don't know. He doesn't really say. But we're talking about the investors, whom I represent, he says. It says 48 hours from now, if they're not convinced, I'm not convinced. And I thought, shouldn't he say, if I'm not convinced, his investors will not be convinced? I don't know. But or maybe he meant the scientists, Sattler and Grant and Malcolm. If they're not convinced, he won't be convinced. I don't know. But anyway, whatever. 48 hours, I'll be accepting your apologies, he says, in his Scottish accent. Right, so anyway, so they drive around this tree. because there's a dinosaur hiding behind that tree. They pull over and they're all like, they've got blinkers on. They can't see. By the way, she's picked up a leaf. She's talking away. She's saying this piece of verform or whatever been extinct since the Cretaceous. So are the genetically creating plants as well? There must be. Although that's never mentioned again. Anyway, he gets out. He sees something. There you go. Veriform and has been extinct since the late Cretaceous. So they must be doing plants and all. Maybe it's what they're feeding the dinosaurs. I don't know. The plant eaters, obviously. So then, anyway, he turns ahead, and then they see it. Here we go. It's first dinosaur. Yeah, Brachiosaurus. There it is. John Williams' score comes in. Dee. All that. There it is. It was. Here it comes. And the effects still stand up, I think. Because obviously this is the film that ushered in the CG era, although there had been CG in films before Jurassic Park. This is the film that really solidified it, wasn't it? It exploded after this, didn't it? I mean, we've had CG in films way back in the early 70s. I think the first kind of what they call, I don't know, photorealistic CG. It might have been in Future World in 1977, but then we had Wrath of Khan had a bit of CG in, didn't it? And what was the other one? Whatchamacallit, that one, that young Sherlock Holmes, that had as well, didn't it? Anyway, but like I said, with Jurassic Park, that the springboard, and it was the death of after the not really, but kind of the death of stop motion animation, because all the dinosaurs were supposed to be done in stop motion originally, weren't they? Phil Tippett was employed to create the dinosaurs in stop motion, and he did lots of tests and stuff, with his go motion thing. And if you've seen it in the behind the scenes, they don't look that good to me. They look okay, fine, Harryhausen-esque, but the CG ones do look better, I must admit. And he said it was very sad when they learned that cause it was Dennis Muren, who were working with Phil Tippett at the time, to do the dinosaurs, to design them and all that. Dennis Muren called up Steven Spielberg, said, "I think we can do these in the computer." They did some tests, and there we go. They did some tests on with Gallimimus, and they did like a herd of Gallimimus, or flock, or whatever they are, of Gallimimus skeletons running about, and then I think they did a T-Rex skeleton, and then they tried them with skin and stuff like that, and they found that it would work. So, and the rest, as they say, is history. So there we go. Anyway, so there's the Brachiosaurus, and a lot of dinosaur experts will say, well, these dinosaurs are, they don't look they're not acting realistically, and they got the Velociraptor size wrong, and they get the Dilophosaurus wrong, and apparently these are wrong as well. But it's only a film, for God's sake. But I don't think they could do that either. I mean, it doesn't give it much height. If you watch it, it just like goes up on its back legs. It's not as if it couldn't reach up there anyway, but never mind. He says, "Oh, we're going to make a fortune with this place," and he's all laughing. And then he asks a question. Why does he ask this question? I've no idea. Because he's looking at a Brachiosaurus, and Alan Grant asks John Hammond, "How fast are they?" What would he ask that for? It's a Brachiosaurus. It's not going to go running about, is it? But then he says, "We clocked the T-Rex at 32 miles an hour." There you go. And says, "You have a T-Rex?" "Yes, we've got a T-Rex." Say it again. So then his knees start buckling because he can't cope. And then suddenly they see lots of other dinosaurs that they just hadn't noticed before. This is when he says, "Welcome to Jurassic Park." And then obviously they were there, look, they're there, sitting there, watching. They didn't notice those. They were too busy looking at this Brachiosaurus next to them. They didn't see all those over there. Blinkers. It's because they're not on screen, you see. Steven Spielberg, if it's not on screen, it's not real, it doesn't exist. We'll get to that at the end. Anyway. If it's not on screen, it's not visible. That's one of his things, apparently, particularly in this film. So there we go. So there we see. It's a couple of brachiosauruses coming out of the water. When she just said these don't live in a swamp, no, they live in that lake. And some Parasaurolophus, a herd of them, because they do move in herds. There you go. I'm going to say that now. And he asks, how do you do this? Says, I'll show you. Right, so then they arrive at the visitor centre. As you can see, it's still being built, because the park's obviously not open yet. So in they go. There we go. We see the When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth banner up there. Obviously inspired by the 1970 Hammer film, starring Victoria Vetri and Patrick Allen, and some dinosaurs. And it's a cool film, but not a Ray Harryhausen one. 1 million years BC with the Ray Harryhausen one, but its sequel, When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth, was a Jim Danforth film, but not the stop motion, not directed by. Whatever. Anyway, right, so and this next line coming up is one that Phil Tippett kind of said, or somebody said to Phil Tippett when he lost his job doing the stop motion animation. They said, we're out of a job, and somebody said, don't you mean extinct? And this is the line that I missed it. Never mind. That there he goes. We're out of a job. Don't you mean extinct? That Ian Malcolm says to him. Not really, though. They've still got to dig up dinosaur bones. Not going to dig themselves up, are you? It's because you can create them in a lab, don't mean you still won't be doing your research into proper dinosaurs. Because it says these aren't proper dinosaurs, are they? Really, as was said in Jurassic World, John Hammond created genetically engineered theme park monsters. It's essentially what they are, because they're not pure dinosaurs, are they? Of course, they've got frog DNA in. Anyway, right. So now we're going to see how they do the dinosaurs on this sort of ride, where John's got to talk to himself on the screen. This is where we're introduced to Mr. DNA. So here we go. That's where we learn about DNA. That they get it from mosquitoes. There we go. 100 million years ago, mosquitoes done in a cartoon, and they got stuck in the amber, and then using sophisticated techniques, like drilling a hole in it and sticking a. Is it going to show it? There we go. Using sophisticated techniques, drilling a hole and sticking a syringe in. That's sophisticated, isn't it? To get the blood out. Anyway. So, bingo, dino DNA, but it's full of holes. So they use a frog DNA to fill in the gaps and complete the code. Right, that's how you make a baby dinosaur. And then the ride continues. And then we see the scientists. Are these real scientists, or are they just actors? I think they're real scientists, because we see B.D. Wong before he turns into a moustache twirling villain in Jurassic World Dominion. Jurassic World, So anyway, there you go. They use unfertilized emu or ostrich eggs. There we go. They break the ride because there we go. They force the thing open. It makes the ride stop. So they get out because they want to go and talk to the scientists and see what's really going on. This is where we learn that everybody's leaving because apparently there's a hurricane on the way. They call it a tropical storm. We'll call it a hurricane. There's a storm on the way, so that everybody's getting ready to leave. There's B.D. Wong as Dr. Wu, not Doctor Who, Dr. Wu, who turns into a baddie in the later films for some reason. Right, so here we go. Right, so we see that being born here, the dinosaurs, in these emu or ostrich eggs. Is that what emu and ostrich eggs look like? I have no idea, but they're using a robot arm to turn them over. Right, this bit really gets on my nerves because it's just bad continuity. There we see, this is Alan Grant looking at this egg, and the little dinosaurs coming out of it. There you can see the robot arm holding the egg. But then when it cuts to Hammond looking at it, there we go. The bloody thing's gone, look. The robot arms disappeared, vanished into thin air. Steven Spielberg's a bloody hack, he is, anyway. So this is where Hammond says he's there for every... He says they imprint on the first thing they see, so it helps them trust me. It's a load of bollocks. He says, I've been here for the birth of every creature on this island. But no, he hasn't, because... I don't know. So do they take them from here to Isla Sorna and then let them grow up and then bring them back? I don't know. It's never really gone into... Anyway, so they're all oohing and ahhing, and this is where we learn that all the dinosaurs are female, so they can't breed. But Ian Malcolm doesn't believe it. He says, one thing that nature tells us that, life finds a way. So that's what he's saying. So, right. There you go. Life finds a way. And this is where Alan Grant got the little dinosaur in his hands. Can't you recognise it? It doesn't have little claws and stuff. But he says, what species is this? And he says, oh, it's Velociraptor. And he says, you've bred raptors. Yeah. There you go. Dun, dun, dun. And I don't know what he did with it then. Did he just pull it apart or something? I don't know. Crush it to death because he hates raptors. I don't know. Maybe he don't. I don't know. Maybe put it in his pocket and kept it. Then this is the raptor. I don't know. Are the raptors just kept in there? Because there's not a lot of room, is there? Or I don't know. Is this the raptor pen? Because it's not very big, is it? Or is this just where they feed them? And is there like an underground part that I don't know? This is where they keep the raptors. And make no wonder they're in a bad mood. But anyway, they're feeding this poor cow. Or is it a bull? Don't know. To the raptors. There we go. They're hoisting it in. There it goes. And then all the plants all go whoosh, 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 as they rip the poor animal apart. And Mr. Muldoon, they should all be destroyed, he says, with his shorts on. So we learn that they're super intelligent and the astonishing jumpers, and they can go run at cheetah speeds and all that stuff. And we learn that they bred 8 originally, but then they put the big one in, she killed all but 2 of the others. So they've got 3 raptors in that. So did they have 8? No, 'cause they must have had them in a regular pen that she had them now, attacking the fences. So that's how they feed them now. So I don't know. But anyway, they've just seen, I said, this cow get ripped apart. And they said, okay, anybody hungry? And then it shows them, there we go, they put it's Chilean sea bass, and it has Ellie looking down at it as though it's something disgusting. I thought, if it were a steak or something like that, I'd think, yeah, fair enough, because you just seen a cow get ripped apart. But it's a bit of fish, so I think, fine, I'm eating that. Even though it doesn't look very nice, but anyway. No chips with it, but never mind. Right, so they're having their dinner. And Gennaro's just got dollar signs in his eyes. All I can think about is we can charge anything we want, 10,000 a day. And Hammond say, no, this place is not only for the super rich, it's just for the very rich. He don't say that, but that's, there you go. Everybody in the world should be able to enjoy these animals. So he says, okay, we'll have a coupon day. But anyway, there you go. But the scientists are not convinced. And Ian Malcolm says, the not showing any respect for nature and all that stuff. And he's not impressed. He's as old Jeff. And that's where he does his banging on the table. Before you even knew what you had, you'd patented it and packaged it and put it on the plastic lunchbox. There you go. And you're going to sell it. You're going to sell it. And he said, and Hammond tells him, our scientists have done things that nobody could. And said, well, before they found the cud, they should have stopped to think if they should. And then he does the condor thing. If I'd a flock of condors on this island. You wouldn't have had anything to say. And he says, well, no, that's we're not talking about deforestation or the building of a dam. Dinosaurs had their shot and nature selected them for extinction. Not really, I think a giant asteroid selected them for extinction, but anywho. But even Ellie is not convinced. And weird dialogue here. It says you have poisonous plants in this building. You pick them because they look good, but these are. It's like this is a different. They've clipped some of the dialogue out, but these are aggressive living things. One minute he's talking about plants, and saying these are aggressive living things. I've no idea what century they're in, and they'll protect themselves violently if they have to, or something like that. There you go. But she were on about plants a minute ago. I wonder if something were clipped out. I don't know, but so she's not convinced. So and even Alan Grant, he's not convinced either, and he's saying, we're all running to catch up, so we've no idea, what can possibly happen. So he's saying, I don't believe it. The only one on his side is the blood-sucking lawyer. Anyway, then suddenly the kids have arrived. So this is Hammond's grandchildren, Lex and Tim. I think his daughter's kids, cause I think they're called Murphy. I think their surname. So they're his daughter's kids. It doesn't say. Doesn't say on IMDb. I'm sure I've seen it somewhere. Murphy. Where are we? Come on, where's the cast? Where's the cast list? Have I gone past it? Cast. There we go. Where are they? Yes, Lex and Tim Murphy. There we go. Whatever happened to them? Let's make sure we're still going. Yes, we are. Right. So they've arrived. So there you go. They love their granddad. I'm sure they do because he's a billionaire. I'd love my granddad if he were a billionaire as well. Right, so they're going in their cars now. They're electrical cars that run on a track that have interactive CD-ROMs because it's 1993. But there you go. In they go. Obviously, they said Ian's still got his eyes on Ellie. There goes. He's heading into the visitor centre. He's going to monitor from the control room. Is Hammond and. So we see Alan being awkward around kids because young Joseph Mazzello, Tim, who would go on to portray what's his face, John Deacon in Bohemian Rhapsody, the bassist for Queen, and so there we go. He starts talking dinosaurs and all that stuff to him, but he doesn't want to know because he doesn't like kids. So he's thinking, bugger off, kid. That's all I'd say. But he shoots him in the front car. And he obviously he talks her and go with your brother. You're not coming in the back car with us. So bugger off. Go and sit with the lawyer. Right. So where Muldoon's telling him about the tropical storm that's still on its way. There we go. Showing it on the high-tech CRT screens. Silicon graphics. Anyway. So they start the tour. Off they go with their super-duper computer stuff. Running Unix. We used to have a Unix computer where I used to work. I didn't know how to run it. Didn't look like the Unix system that they've got in this, I'll tell you that anyway. It were all text. Typing stuff in. It wasn't all graphical. Anyway. Unbelievable. It did this yesterday. Yes, yesterday, wasn't it? Bear with me. There we go. Just bear with me. Where's me bloody thing? There we go. Get my picture back up. Stupid bloody telly. Gonna be one of those days, innit? Gonna be one of those days. I can tell. And now somebody's sending me a message. Just heard a ping. Right. Which one is it? There we go. Right. We're back up and running again. Start cam. There, I'm back again. Right, where were we? Right, headed through the King Kong gate. And it shows it from above. It's going to show it. Hang on. Go on, show us. We see that there's the gate with the fence, and it only goes that far. There's just a bit of wood there holding the fence there. Doesn't go any further. Is it just for display? I'll say it is. I'll stick up for the film and say it's not part of the actual perimeter fence. It's just there for display. Anyway, in they go. Right, so they're arriving at the Dilophosaurus paddock. The Dilophosaurus is, not that they see it now, but the Dilophosaurus in real life look nothing like the one that they've got in this film. And they make up things about it. They give it a frill, which Dilophosaurus didn't have, and they say it spits venom at its prey, which Dilophosaurus didn't do. How could they even tell from a fossil? Unless, I don't know, there were like tubes or something in the jaw. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, but they can't see one anyway. It's not there. It's like when you go to a safari park and you're looking for an animal. They're hiding in the bushes. But so they don't see that. The headlights are on the car. So this is where Samuel L. Jackson plays. I forgot his name. I forgot the name of his character. Samuel L. Jackson, where are you? Mr. Arnold, of course it is Mr. Arnold. He's like the chief technician, I think, something like that. And but it's up to Dennis Nedry to sort it out, because it's all part of the computer program that Dennis Nedry's written. So that's where they're telling him that he's got to fix the headlights, but he's got to do it later. He said, I've got to do it later, I can't do everything at once, maybe. But this is where he's moaning about money again, because he's talking about the automation that he's given them, that he could run the whole park from this room with minimal staff for up to 3 days. Is the automation easy or cheap? I don't know. Ask Scotty. He got the Enterprise automated, didn't he? Anyway. So he's moaning about his salary. But don't say that. It says on my salary in the subtitles. We don't actually say that. It says what I bid for the job. So it's his own fault. It's what he bid. Anyway. So they're carrying on. They're arriving at the Tyrannosaurus paddock now. And they don't see one of those either. And they're going to try and tempt it out with a goat. So God creates man. Man destroys God. Man creates dinosaurs. And then Ellie Sattler says, dinosaurs eat man. Woman inherits the earth. Woke. Turn it off. Anyway, right, they're going to tempt it out with a goat. Here it comes, poor thing. Here it is, look. He's going to eat the goat. He says, have you never had lamb chops? Actually, I'm a vegetarian. Oh, sod off then. There we go. But no T-Rex coming to eat the goat yet. Right, so they carry on. There you go. T-Rex doesn't want to be fed. He wants to hunt. Have you forgotten already? They're all she's. Stupid man. Right, so off they go. They carry on. And is it starting to rain now? It looks like it's starting to rain now, isn't it? Because remember that storm's coming. That's the famous, the funny bit with his looking at the monitor. You're actually going to have dinosaurs on your dinosaur tour. And he breathes on the camera. So I really hate that man. Lamb tastes much different than goat. It's a film. Oh dear. I don't think I've ever had goat. I don't think I've ever had goat's milk or goat's cheese. I don't think I've ever had anything from a goat. I don't think. Anyway. Never had goat's eggs. I'm joking. I really hate that man, he says. Right, so this is where he's going about chaos. So that's the T-Rex doesn't abide by park timetables. It's the essence of chaos. And Ellie's saying, I'm not really sure what chaos is. And this is where he's trying to seduce her now. So he says, let me explain it. And the shorthand is the butterfly effect. The butterfly flaps its wings in Beijing, and in Central Park you get rain instead of sunshine. And she goes, down, like that. And says, did the flyby. And this is where it's, there you go. And he starts stroking her hair here. Look there, he goes stroking her hair, going like that on the hair. And it's a wonder bloody Alan Grant don't punch his lights out, innit? Anyway. Josh Temple says, goat's milk is better than regular milk. And I love cow's milk. There you go. There you go. I don't think I've ever had anything from a goat, I don't think. Not knowingly. Anyway, so he's going to do another little test. There we go. He gets he's demonstrating about chaos. The unpredictability is what he's on about. And he's going to drop water on her hand and say, which way will it roll off? She says, that way. And it does it again, and it rolls off another way. And he says, it's because the motion of the car and, the imperfections in your skin will mean, you'll never get the same result twice. So unpredictability. That's basically what it is. Anyway, and he's holding her hand now, look. That's right, he's trying to woo her. Not Dr. Woo, but he's trying to woo her. Anyway, is it worth trying? Josh Temple says it's worth trying. I don't know if they've got any in my local shops. I'll have to look. Anyway, then Alan Grant just leaps out of the car and says, see, look, nobody could have predicted that Dr. Grant would just suddenly leap out of a moving vehicle. And she follows him. He says, hey, there it is again. And now here I am by myself, talking to myself. It's the essence of chaos. I wish I could do an impression of Jeff Goldblum. Anyway, so they've got to stop the cars because they've all got out. He says, should have put locking mechanisms on the vehicle doors. Anyway, meanwhile, Dennis Nedry's checking stuff out. He's looking at the storerooms. There we go. It says East Dock there. They've got that wrong, haven't they? It's not. It's the embryo cold storage. Anyway, never mind. Oh, no, it's the wrong one, isn't it? This is the East Dock down there. Does it tell us up here? Oh, my camera. 13 VC. East Dock's down here. There we go. There we go. Looking at that. Because they're going to be talking to a fella on this telephone in a minute. Who I think might be Dean Cundy, but I'm not sure. The director of photography. Anyway, so he's waffling on, is the kid again, about dinosaurs to Alan Grant. Grant's not listening because he's seen a Triceratops. So here it is. They found this Triceratops. There it is. An animatronic one. It's not CG, obviously. Animatronic Triceratops. And it's poorly. It's not a very big one either, is it? Triceratops were pretty big. This must be a young Triceratops, I'm guessing. Because they were about 40 feet long, weren't they? Triceratops. That's not 40 feet long. Definitely. It's only about, 15 at the most, maybe. I'm saying it's a young one. Anyway, so as I say, it's an animatronic one. Done by Stan Winston. And it looks cool. And I say its eyes move and its mouth and all that. And it's ill, and they don't know why it's ill. But she, being a paleobotanist, she knows all about it, because Alan Grant knows sod all about living dinosaurs. But she takes over. Where is it's breathing at him. I was watching it, I was thinking, I bet when they were doing this Triceratops, they're going to show it fully. Go on, show us the show us the full Triceratops film. Is it going to show it? No, it's going to have to. There's a view from a book there, but that won't do either. There's views of it where you can see it all. Crying out loud. We might see it again in a bit. But I was watching it, I was thinking, I bet in the meetings, I bet they said something like, we can either build this animatronic one. So I bet somebody said, why don't you just get a baby elephant and just put a Triceratops head on it? Because it does look like, you could have just put a baby elephant there and just put a Triceratops head on it, like a mask or something like that. Anyway, she's working out now what they've been eating, because she suggests they might have been eating West Indian lilac, which is poisonous. So she got to go and check their droppings. Anyway, that storm's still heading for them, so they're saying, everybody bugger off, head to the boat, we're leaving. So he's angry now. Oh, damn! Because he's got temper issues, hasn't he, it seems. Anyway, so that's a big pile of shit. So anyway, she's up to her elbows in Triceratops poo. He says, no, there's no sign of West Indian lilac. So she doesn't know. What's up with it? And now we're thinking, is it pregnant? Is that what's up with it? Is it pregnant? Or is it to do with, is it changing? Because the genetically engineered, is something happening to this Triceratops? Is it turning into a male or something? Or is it spontaneously producing eggs or whatever inside and it's making it ill? I don't know. We never know. We never know. Anyway, Dennis Nedry is ready to put his diabolical plan into effect. There he is, pressing buttons, looking, getting all stuff ready. Whatever. They're the back of the Triceratops. But there we go. I know there were a view where we saw it all. There we go. I said they could have just put a baby elephant there, couldn't they? And just like done a prosthetic T-Rex head on top, tucked its trunk underneath. Oh dear. Because they used elephants in Star Wars, didn't they, as banthas? So why can't they use them as Triceratops? Don't know. Would it have been cheaper? Probably not. Anyway, right. So anyway, she's staying with Dr. Harding. This is Dr. Harding. Apparently, I think he is Sarah Harding's dad from Lost World, Jurassic Park. I don't know if that's canon. I'm sure in one of the games they've said that he's Sarah Harding's dad from the second film. But anyway, she's staying with him to look after the trike, 'cause that's what they call it now. 'Cause they've got to be cool. It's not just Triceratops, it's a trike. Anyway, so they're heading back to the car. Right, so the storm's hitting, look. And anyway, he's on the blower to the fella by the dock. So I think it's Dean Cundit, I think. I could be wrong. I'm sure does it say on IMDb? Let's have a look, uncredited. I don't know. Bear with me. I've no idea. I don't know. Dean Cundit is, it says mate. So he's either mate of the ship, Dean Cundit. Anyway, whatever. Anyway, so it said he's got 15 minutes. Says 15 minutes. We're leaving. So that's how long you've got. And he says, I need at least 18. He said, no promises. There you go. So right, so he's got 15 minutes or whatever to get the embryos and get to the ship. Anyway, the cars are on the way back. To the visitor centre, and Ellie will be coming back in a gas jeep with Dr. Harding. Right, and then it says, so much for our first tour, 2 no-shows and 1 sick Triceratops. And he says, could have been a lot worse, John. Anyway, then Nedry pipes up. He's going to the vending machines. He's not really. He's doing his diabolical scheme. So he's asking, anybody need anything? Anyway, I'm going to leave this compiling. So some minor systems might go on or offline just for a few minutes, but it's just a little thing. Don't worry about it. Everything's okay. So now he does this. I don't really get this. Right, so he goes to his computer, right, and he clicks execute, debug island over. He clicks execute there. So that obviously starts, but then he does a stopwatch. For what reason? I don't know why. I mean, it's obviously is it just something that were on the computer and they just thought, well, we'll get that because it's got a counter on it. I don't know, because he sets his own watch with it. And I thought, well, why didn't he do it with the execute thing? Because that's the one that's actually running the program. I don't know. Oh, and earlier on with the fella on the that he were talking to him, it's obviously not a live video feed because you can see there. Hang on, there's the down there. It's obviously a video. There's a QuickTime video or something in it. Remember them? They're still going QuickTime. It's obviously a QuickTime video, isn't it? Never mind. It's only a film. Right, so off he goes. He sets his diabolical plan in action with his stopwatch that he sets his watch by. Why don't you just set his watch? Why don't you just click execute and go, right, 15 minutes. Boop. No, he has that on the screen as well to show us, I suppose. Anyway, off he goes. Meanwhile, the cars, they're coming back through I think they're going through the T-Rex paddock soon. They're on the way back to the visitor centre. So did the cars turn round? Because they go back through the T-Rex. Isn't it on like a track that goes around? Doesn't it have a set route? So how do the cars turn round? I don't know. It doesn't tell us. Are they going in reverse? Well, no, they're not, because you can see there they're going forwards. Look. Don't know. I've just thought of that. I'd never thought of it before. So obviously they turn round somehow. Dear. But it didn't show us. Right, the cameras go off. There we go. He's ready with his stopwatch. 3, 2, 1. Cameras go off. In he goes. Starts stealing stuff. We're noticing Mr. Arnold's noticing that things are going off. Security systems, and they said, "Oh well, Dennis said things would go on and offline." Right, so he's stealing. There you go. Opens these up. By the way, it's cryogenic cold storage or whatever it's called. And he's picking these out without gloves on, as far as I can tell. By the way, there's spelling mistakes coming up. Yeah, suppose cryogenic cold storage is picking these up with nothing on his fingers. They'd be sticking to his fingers, wouldn't they, if they were like, liquid nitrogen or whatever. Anyway, there's some spelling mistakes coming up here anyway, so there we go. Tyrannosaurus Rex. There's 2 N's in Tyrannosaurus. Just thought I'd point that out. So that's one spelling mistake. And there's another one coming up. A minute. There we go. Stegosaurus. It's Stegosaurus. I think that might be wrong as well, but I'm not sure. It might be Metriacanthosaurus, but I'm not sure about that without checking. Unbelievable. There you go. Embryo cold storage. Obviously, it's not super cold because you can get them out with your bare hands. Obviously, not liquid nitrogen then. Not super cooled. Anyway, right, so they're heading back. They're coming up to the T-Rex paddock, and this is where he's asking if Ellie is attached to with anybody, and he basically says yes, So he's okay, never mind then. And then he says, "Oh, what did I touch?" So maybe this is the only thing in the film that is relevant to him touching that monitor earlier on. He says, "What?" Because the car stops. He says, "What did I touch?" He said, "Nothing. We've stopped." And that's it, just for that one line. But then all the systems are going down in the park. There you go. Fences are failing all over the park. It shows us on the screen. There we go. Except the raptor fences. All the fences are going except the raptor fences in that little area where they've got them. No wonder they've gone insane. Anyway, so all the fences are failing. Because they're electric fences, obviously. And anyway, Nedry's here now in his gas jeep. I said, driving through the park. You'd think they'd have a safe way, wouldn't you, to get to the East Dock? But anyway, never mind. I've got the map. Hang on, let me see if I can find it. Bear with me. Just bear with me. I'll just remove that a moment. I saved it to my computer. Just hang on. Is that it? What can I open it with? That. I think. Oh, you're over there. Just bear with me. Right, East Dock. Where's the East Dock? Let me zoom in a bit. Yes. Oh, you can't see it, can you? There we go. Here's the map of the park. I don't know if it's accurate. I don't know. So we've got the north dock there. So there must be an east dock because he's gone to the east dock, hasn't he? There's an airport over there. The visitor centre's there. Can you see my mouse pointer, by the way? It's there. So the visitor centre's right in the middle of the island. Don't know where the helicopter landed. Maybe it landed over there. No, it didn't, did it, though? There's the east dock. I'm just looking. Nothing there says east dock. Not that I can see. Oh, there you go. East dock. So that's it. That's the east dock there. So, let's say he's gone from the visitor centre. So yes, he has. Well, he doesn't have to, does he? Though maybe it's a short. As I said, it's a shortcut. He's gone through them gates there from the visitor centre, and he's headed that way, hasn't he, to the east dock. But you think you'd just go round, wouldn't you? If it's in a gas jeep, just go round or whatever. Why have they made it so that you can't get to the east dock without going through the park itself? It's stupid. Who designed Jurassic Park? I don't know. Anyway. Where were we? Right, so this is where he's going through there. So he's got to manually open the gate. So off he goes. And so this is where they found out now that they can't get the system back online. And I think he says, call Nedry's people. Oh no, he's asking why would he turn... Because he asks about the raptor fences. Says, no, they're still on. So why would he turn the other ones off? So he can get through. Take his shortcut, I presume, to the east dock. Glasses are steaming up. Anyway, I can't see where he's going, so he crashes into the sign that says east dock. Here we can see it there, look. Obviously, he wasn't paying attention to which direction the arrow was. It was that way, to the left. Crashes into it, and now he doesn't know which way to go. So, I think all it needed were 2 nails. That's a bit of money saving, isn't it? And 2 nails so that it wouldn't have spun. Never mind. Right, so he's trying to get into Nedry's stuff, but he can't get in, and he triggers a, what I've got, a white rabbit security thing. So, anyway, so they've stopped outside the T-Rex paddock as our heroes. The goat's still there. Alan's gone to check on the kids and Gennaro, and their radio's not working either. And what's his face? Ian says, are the kids okay? And says, yeah, why wouldn't they be? So, kids get scared. Says, just a little hiccup in the powers to be scared of. So, I'm not scared. I never said you were. Anyway, and Tim's found some night vision goggles, so he's using them. And then he notices the goat's disappeared. He looks and sees Alan and Ian in the other car. Alan's getting some rainwater in his... Well, it must be raining hard. Gets rainwater in his canteen. Has he might not have looked at the... Has he? And I might not have looked at the goat yet. But then we hear this, the thumping. It says, did you feel that? And we hear this, obviously this is the T-Rex coming, but they don't know that yet. And then there's the, go on, do it. Boom, there we go. And apparently it took them ages to get that right. Why? Don't know. But Steven Spielberg said he wanted the mirror to shake in the car. They said that was easy. But put a little motor in the mirror. Why just check the bloody car? But anyway, put a little motor in the mirror to make it shake. But they couldn't get he says, I want these rings to appear, when obviously the T-Rex foot hits the ground. I want these rings to appear, and they couldn't get it to work. They tried all sorts of stuff. And it turned out he ended up using a guitar. I think they put a guitar string underneath there, and they had to tune it to a certain note. And when they played it, it made the ring. And apparently it took them ages to figure that out. Anyway, so He's got goggles on again. This is where he notices the goat's gone. Uh-oh. He says, where's the goat? Where's the goat? We're going to find out now where the goat is. The goat is, well, part of it is there. The goat's leg appears. So she screams. Then we get a glimpse. That's one of the T-Rex's little arms with its 2 fingers on, holding onto the fence that's not electrified anymore. By the way, people said T-Rex had these little arms, but their arms were as big as our arms. But they're just little compared to the rest of the T-Rex. Plus, they only have 2 fingers as well. So they were good at doing that, weren't they? Right, and then we see the T-Rex, good old Stan Winston, animatronic T-Rex. I meant to look up how much CG dinosaurs were in this film. It's not a lot. It's like a few minutes. If that, I don't know. But most of the dinosaurs you see are animatronic. Good old Stan Winston's animatronic T-Rex. Eating the rest of the goat. And Mr. Gennaro gets scared and he gets out of the car and just runs off into the toilet. And it'd have been fine if what happens next hadn't have happened. But why didn't they all just pile into the toilet? They'd probably been okay, wouldn't they? But anyway, never mind. Why does that look like one of the aliens from Earth versus the Flying Saucers? It's supposed to be a female thing, isn't it? But anyway. So he goes and hides in the toilet and says, where's he going? Well, when you gotta go, you gotta go. And then all the fence starts to, the T-Rex is coming through the fence. This is where we get his first proper look at the CG T-Rex, which looks amazing still. Here it is. Comes through the fence with the splashes as it, there we go, as it puts its foot down. Still looks cool. 1993. Amazing. There's Malga, I hate being right all the time. And here it comes. The T-Rex roar is, I've forgotten. I can't remember. It's a baby elephant. That's mixed up with other stuff, but it's mostly a baby elephant, snorting or whatever they do. Trumpeting, that's the word, isn't it? But they mix some other stuff in it as well. But it's mostly a baby elephant noise. And the raptors are dolphins, mostly again mixed up with other stuff, but mostly dolphins. Right, so here it comes, roaring with that terrifying roar. By the way, this is one of the most tense scenes in movie history, in my opinion. I think it's absolutely terrifying. It's like a proper horror film. I think it is, anyway. Keep still. Its vision's based on movement. How the hell does he know that? How can you work that out from a bloody fossil? Bloody nonsense. Anyway. She gets a flashlight out and starts shining that about for some reason. And she's shining a flashlight out. So obviously you can see the beam, so it heads over there. Tim says, turn it out, turn the flashlight off. And she's like, sorry. And he shuts the door. And the T-Rex is there, looking at them. For God's sake, in a minute. There you go, looking at them. Anyway, so they turn the flashlight off. But it knows they're in there, because it probably can smell them, I suppose, as well. It starts nudging the car, and then it goes in through the sunroof. And, terrifying. Terrifying stuff. And they're thinking, them kids are going to get eaten. Then it turns the car over. Bloody hell, what do I do? I'll be thinking, well, those kids are dead. Nothing I can do about it. I can't save them. I'll die. But he has a go. There you go. He gets a flare out and gets the T-Rex's attention. Looks at him and roars, and he goes. Alan Grant immediately poos his pants, but he stands his ground. And he throws the flare. It goes after the flare because T-Rex is obviously stupid. It's a lot of rubbish. Is this? That wouldn't happen in real life, would it? It's like if you did it with a bear or something. Oh, go get that flare, bear. Don't get me, I'm not here. It'd probably work, actually. Ian, freeze! But Ian's not freezing. He's got another flare in his hand and he's running off with the flare saying, follow me, T-Rex. And he says, get the kids. Because Ian, there you go, Ian's a hero. Because he's Jeff Goldblum. So, that's it. It'd have been fine if he hadn't run in that direction. If Ian hadn't run in that direction. The T-Rex it don't. It like gets. Where is it? There you go. Ian Malcolm's there. It like throws him and collapses the bathroom. There you go. There's Ian. Cut and bruised, but still alive. We learn. Gennaro sitting on the toilet, and it's where he gets eaten. It looks at him, but if he's not moving, or maybe it does that, doesn't it? So maybe it sees that. Maybe if it had just sat still, it'd have probably been fine, wouldn't it? But it eats him. There you go. Arr, arr, arr. Vicious. Right, Alan's getting the kids out of the car. He gets Lex out first, but Tim's stuck. And then the T-Rex comes back. She screams. Is it this scene or is it a scene later? I don't know. I can't remember. The one of the scenes where they have her screaming. It might have been later. I don't know. But on set for that day, they had Fay Ray there. Obviously, the famous scream queen from the 30s in King Kong and The Most Dangerous Game and other stuff. She visited the set for that day when Lex were doing her screaming. So anyway, puts its foot down. Big animatronic foot. And so if we don't move, it won't see us. They can bloody smell you as well. They can't be that thick, can they, really? T-Rex, you wouldn't think so, would you? But anyway. Hang on. Anyway, it has a sniff. It has a sniff. Here we go. Oh, by the way, this is all done in a studio, by the way. It's not on location. It's in a studio in wherever. California, I don't know, Hollywood. And Steven Spielberg decided he wanted it to be raining because obviously this storm were coming, so it had to be raining. And he said to Stan Winston, obviously, it's going to be raining, don't you, because this storm's here. Stan Winston said, well, as things won't work in the rain, you didn't tell us that when we started designing this. Obviously, he didn't read the script. And they found out that, the latex or whatever that's covering the T-Rex used to got rain soddened or water soddened and got really heavy, and it started making all the servos stop working properly, so it'd start jerking about a lot. So they'd all come running in with towels and things trying to dry it off. Caused some problems. It were famously, well, not famously, but it were parodied in A Bug's Life, in the outtakes in A Bug's Life. Instead of it being a T-Rex, it were a bird. Anyway. Right. All right. Blows off his hat. There we go. But it can't see them because it's stupid. But it's supposed to have a super amazing sense of smell, we learn in The Lost World, Jurassic Park, Jurassic Park 2. So why can't it just smell that they're there and just eat them? No, it doesn't. Anyway, so it starts knocking the car about. Maybe it's trying to find them. But anyway, they end up going over the wall. Remember, Tim's still in the car. So anyway, grabs hold of this wire, and she's choking him. Lex, you're choking me. But he just grabs that wire in time, just as the car comes down. Hang on in a minute. Hang on. There we go. I've gone too far. There we go. Just as the car comes, just misses him. I think Tim's dead, didn't he? And the T-Rex has a roar. Meanwhile, he's saying, we'll not get in because there's 2 million lines of code. We'll never get into Nedry's system unless we go through the lines of code one at a time. But they can't do it. Anyway, so he's still driving. He thinks he's going the right way. God knows, but he's obviously lost, and he crashes his Jeep. And then he sees a sign saying East Dock is that way, so he knows he's on the right track now. But he's got the Jeep stuck, so he's got to use the what do they call them? The thingamabob. Hoist? It's not hoist, is it? What do they call them? Do for what's it? So he's got to use that to, I don't know, do something, pull it down that hill. I don't know, but. He goes and he slips down there, but he goes and he loses his glasses, He says, I've lost my glasses. And he says, I can buy more glasses. Because he got $1.5 million, remember? I thought, yeah, but that doesn't help you now, does it? If you can't see. If I lost my glasses, I could buy some more glasses. But if I lost my glasses now, I'd be buggered. I wouldn't be able to see anything. I'll have to dig out one of my old pairs of glasses that my eyes won't work with anymore. Anyway, right, so he pulls the cable, ties it round a tree. This is where we see the Dilophosaurus. We hear them chirruping, going bloop, 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 making chirrupy noises. We see one peeking round a tree. There it is, look, you just see it there. And he goes, that's nice. And then one follows him through the grass. And there he is. He says, oh, you're not like one of your big cousins, are you? Obviously, in real life, the Dilophosaurus were like 40 feet, 50 feet long, 30, 40 feet long, something like that. But obviously these aren't. Maybe it could be argued these are young Dilophosauruses. I don't know. But maybe they've just hatched a few weeks ago. Whatever. But anyway, there it is watching him. And he tries to get it to play fetch. There we go. He throws a stick, but it's not interested. And he says, no wonder you're extinct. I'm going to run you over when I come back down. Anyway, he gets up thing and falls over again. And there's the Dilophosaurus. I think you see the wire operating it, I think. In a minute. Sure you see, because wires, look. They're going to pull on its frill comes out. And you can see the wire ready to pull the frill out. There we go. So this is where it spits its venom at him, and just a bit, it's in there. So it's like, oh, what's this? Anyway, so he clambers up to the Jeep, but there's another one in there, and that gets him in the eyes, blinds him. He was blind anyway, he'd lost his glasses. If he'd had his glasses on, that's why he lost his glasses, I suppose. If he had his glasses on, he'd have been fine, wouldn't he? But anyway, and he bangs his head and loses the Barbasol can. That goes rolling down the little waterfall thing. Anyway, he gets in the Jeep, but there's another I said raptor then, Dilophosaurus in there, giving it supposed to sound like a rattlesnake, I suppose. And it gets him, and and it's shaking about. And then we see, then we see the Barbasol being covered in mud, because that's how fossils generally form. Something will die, it'll land in a river or a lake and sink in the mud, and then get covered up, and then that's how it, over the millennia and millions of years, it'll turn to rock, and then the fleshy bits and the bone gets replaced with minerals and stuff and turns into rock itself. That's fossilization in a nutshell. But that's what's happened to the Barbasol can. Did it in the game? Did they find that, or there's something? I'm sure I've seen somewhere that that Barbasol can got found, but I can't remember where. Or in what game? They were like one of them, is it Telltale? Them Telltale games. They're like point and click games, aren't they? But I haven't played it, so I don't know. Anyway, then we cut to Alan Grant is washing his face in this water outflow pipe. I hope it's not the sewage pipe for the visitors centre or whatever. But anyway, right. So he sees the car up in the tree, and he says to Lex, "I've got to go and help your brother." And she goes, "He left us," on about Gennaro. He says, "Yes, but that's not what I'm going to do." So he says, "Wait there, I'm going to go help Tim." So he climbs up the tree. Tim's thrown up, says, "It's fine, I won't tell anybody." So he says, "Right, come on, out you come." So they start climbing down, and then the car starts following them. The branches start breaking, and so they just make it down, and they're lucky here. I mean, they should be dead, really, because they run out here, and then the car lands on top of them. They should be dead, really, shouldn't they? But they're not, they're fine. So, well, we're in the car again. At least you're out of the tree. Right, so Muldoon and, there we go, Muldoon and Ellie have arrived in another gas jeep. Because, what's his face? Hammond had said, "Will you go and get my grandchildren?" So they've arrived, and they say nobody's about. They find what's left of Gennaro. I think it says, I think this was Gennaro. She goes, I think this was too. So it's obviously in bits. But then they find that Ian Malcolm's still alive but injured. And there you go, they found him. It says, remind me to thank John for a wonderful weekend. So anyway, they bundle him in the Jeep. And then she says, oh, they found the other car. It was down there. And then magically they're down at the bottom. There must be ladders or something. I don't know. But suddenly they're down there. They find footprints. So they said they're still alive. They've got away. But then Ian notices in this. There we go. Boom, that a T-Rex is coming in that footprint. I'm fairly alarmed here. So they come running back to the Jeep. Says, come on, go, go, go. And then the T-Rex is going to arrive. I think it's going to come sliding. I think, because I don't think its feet move. If you look here, there's its feet there, and I think it just slides out. Is it this one? I could be wrong. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. I can't remember. I think it was that. I think I saw something else that they pointed out, but I couldn't see it there. But anyway, they drive away, but the T-Rex is chasing them. Remember, it can do 32 miles an hour. Here it comes. Must go faster, which repeats in Independence Day, doesn't it, in a couple of years. Off they go. The T-Rex smashes. Look, it's trying to get them. Ah! She screams. I'd scream like that as well. There we go. Oh, that'd be me. I'd be screaming like a big girl. But it gives up. They get away. Says, do you think they'll have that on the tour? Yeah. Right, so they're going to climb a tree for safety. But remember, that put you at just a handy biting height, as Ian Malcolm says in the second film. But anyway, they're climbing up this tree, this obviously fake tree in the studio. What sort of tree is it? Is it a baobab tree or something? God knows. Anyway. And then see the brachiosauruses, and they start singing like whales. And then he calls them. He starts to go, oh! What an idiot. Anyway, it works because a brachiosaurus arrives in a bit. He stabs himself in the bum with his claw. Remember his claw from the beginning of the film? He's still got that. And they keep saying to him, what are you and Ellie going to do if you don't dig up bones anymore? And like I said at the beginning, well, yeah, they'll still do that, won't they? Just because they're making, fake dinosaurs at InGen, don't mean they won't still be, digging up fossils. But he just, I don't know, we'll have to evolve. And then he throws his precious bloody claw away. He just chucks it. I thought, it's symbolic, innit? Anyway, this was what do you call a blind dinosaur? Do you think he saw us? What do you call a blind dinosaur's dog? Do you think he saw us, Rex? Ha ha! Very funny. Get to sleep. There he goes. Throws it away. Gone now. I hope he picks it back up. Right, back at the visitors' centre. Hammond's scoffing all the ice cream because the power's off. So he's eating all the ice cream before it melts. This is where we learn that he's Scottish. If you haven't guessed from his, slight Scottish accent. That be mouse. Oh no, is that? Oh, it must be on the film. I've got a dead pixel, but I think it's on the film. Yes, it is. So he's saying his first show when he came down from Scotland to London was a flea circus in Petticoat Lane. There used to be a big thing when I was a kid. There used to see him on the TV all the time, flea circuses. And his stuff like Michael Bentin's Potty Time, where it used to look like people were doing things on bits of sand or like motorised things. And but he had a flea circus, and he said people used to say they could see the fleas. Could see the fleas, mummy. But it was all motorised stuff. But obviously, it went from that to being like a billionaire creating dinosaurs. But anyway, as I was saying, he wants it. He wanted to create something that people could see and touch. There we go. a name not devoid of merit. And then he says, next time it'll be perfect. And she says, oh, it'll never be perfect. It's all an illusion. People are dying, etc. Blah, blah, blah. You'll never have control. There you go. So she has some ice cream. It's good. Spared no expense. Anyway, next morning, they all wake up in the tree. They haven't fallen out. Had fallen out of the tree. And a Brachiosaurus is going to eat them. Oh, no. No, don't worry. It's not going to eat them. It's eating the leaves. It's a Vegisaurus. A rhino's, a herbivore, but I wouldn't want to, just go up to one and start pretending to feed it. Anyway, right, so here he is. So he's giving it a branch full of leaves, and it's grabs hold of it. And I think it shows it chewing, but was it? In a bit, but apparently they didn't do that. I don't think they had molars. I think they just essentially had just pegs of teeth, and they just stripped, branches or whatever of leaves and just swallowed it. And they swallowed stones and stuff, didn't they, to help digestion? Anyway, so there we go. So they all pet the Brachiosaurus. And and there was, it looks like it's got a cold, and we learned that it does have a cold because it sneezes all over Lex, like that. So she's covered in Brachiosaurus snot, so she's not happy. Right. Anyway, now we find some dinosaur eggs. Don't know what sort they are. Doesn't tell us. Maybe the Gallimimus eggs. Actually, it might say the Gallimimus eggs. You know what this is? Does it say dinosaur egg? Yeah. I don't know if it says what sort. Maybe the Gallimimus eggs. So we learned that dinosaurs are breeding. So, life's found a way. And it talks about because they use frog DNA to complete the holes in the dinosaur DNA. It says some West African frogs have been known to change sex from male to female in a single-sex environment. So that's what's happened here. The dinosaurs they're either changing sex and mating, or the females are just spontaneously laying eggs, which I think's been known. I think that's been known, hasn't it? Spontaneous egg laying. I mean, chickens do it, don't they? But anyway, whatever. Don't mean they'll be fertilised, but anyway, whatever. So. That's Jeff showing off his bod. Right, so Mr. Arnold wants to shut down all the power. I thought the power were off, but he wants to shut it. It was off, wasn't it? 'Cause the freezer, but the power's still going here, apparently. But he wants to shut off the computers, turn off all the breakers in this control room, and then turn them back on, and then the computers will reset so they can get control back. He's talking about, obviously, Nedry's not coming back. He's been eaten, mate. But then shutting down the system is the only way to wipe out everything he did. And he says this, in theory, we've never done it before, but, whatever. And then he says, can't we put the lysine contingency into effect? And I thought, well, in effect now? Where we learned that the dinosaurs were engineered so that they couldn't create the amino acid lysine, and if they weren't fed lysine by the people on the park, they'd go into a coma and die. But obviously we learned that they're eating things that have got lysine in anyway. But he says, that's out of the question. There you go. I thought, but it's happening anyway, because there's nobody there now, is there? So how are they feeding? How are they giving them lysine? Everybody's buggered off because of the storm. But anyway, whatever. That's absolutely out of the question. And then he talks about the lysine, and then he goes, "People are dying. Turn off the system." Why don't you want to? I don't know. But anyway, so he turns off all this power and then turns it back on. Hold on to your butts, and it comes back on. System's ready, but it's got to do some breakers in the maintenance shed, so he's got to go there. Really badly designed place. I suppose they didn't expect all the dinosaurs to break loose, but anyway, whatever. 2020 hindsight, isn't it? Anyway, so he says, "Oh, right, system's ready." But he says, all the lights are off." He says, "Oh, well, maybe trip some breakers. I've just got to go down to the maintenance shed, switch everything back on. 3 minutes, we'll have power back everywhere." So off he goes. So they're going to the emergency bunker. Meanwhile, he's saying the visitor centre's just over that rise, about a mile away. But then some gallimimus arrive, and obviously Alan Grant doesn't know what they are, because he says, "Tim, what are they?" And Tim says, "Gallimimus." And I think before this I'd never even heard of bloody gallimimus. I'd have said, I don't know, ornithomimus, struthiomimus, one of those sort of ones. I wouldn't have said gallimimus. But anyway, so they come, a flock, whatever they are, of those come running across the countryside. It says, "They're flocking this way." So they all go running, and then they hide behind this log. Here we go. And all the gallimimuses leaping over. But then a T-Rex arrives, ambushes them, and gets one and starts eating it. It says, I bet you never watch birds eat the same way again. Anyway, right. Apparently Mr. Arnold's been gone for quite some time now. He said 3 minutes. It must have been 5. I don't know. But they decide, Mr. Muldoon and Ellie decide to go and look for him. Oh, this is where John says, all theme parks have delays. When they opened Disneyland in 1956, nothing worked. So, no. But John, if Pirates of the Caribbean breaks down, the pirates don't eat the tourists. Anyway, so Muldoon and Ellie are going to look for Mr. Arnold. John gets some plans to help guide them. So she gets a walkie-talkie, and then she just walks out, and says, let's go. And then just she's walking out, she goes, "I'm on channel 2." She says it as you can hardly say it. And I said, "Pardon?" Apparently she said 2. I'm on channel 2. But anyway, I just said, "Can you repeat yourself, please? And I hope you're going to speak better over the radio." Anyway, off they go. There we see that the raptors have broken out, because all the power went out. When Nedry, kept the power on for the raptors, and obviously the control room as well. But when they turned all the power off, when Mr. Arnold turned all the power off, it shut the power off to the raptor fence as well. So they've got out. There we go, leaving their footprints. So, right. So heading for the maintenance shed, whatever the hell they call it. He says, "Oh, if we run, we can make it." "No, we can't. We're being hunted." Dun, dun, dun. Let me check. Make sure we're still going. Yep, I think we are. Yep. Right. We're being hunted. And it says, "You run for the shed. Run now. I've got her." So she goes running off. Now she does she hangs onto that handily placed trapeze bar, whatever it is. You can see the ropes. Goes swinging over that and heads for the shed. And she just makes a "Mr. Arnold." Right, so he's guiding her to where the buttons and stuff are. Hang on, have I missed out Mr. Muldoon? Yes, I have, I think. Have I? Haven't we got there yet? Oh, no, we ain't got there yet. We ain't got Mr. Muldoon yet. Right, so they arrive at the fence. There we go. The perimeter fence. So they can't get... Kids would fit through that easy, wouldn't they? But he says, I guess that means the power's off. He throws a stick at it and nothing happens. But would it anyway? I don't know. I don't know how the electrical fences work. I know if you stood on the ground and you grab hold of it, you'll get electrocuted. But if you throw a stick at it, would it do anything? I don't know. That's why birds can sit on power lines, isn't it? Because they're not actually touching the ground. They're just sitting on the power line. So, but anyway, electricity baffles me. I think it's magic and witchcraft. Anyway, this is where he does his joke. He grabs the wire, goes, "Ah!" She's screaming, and he goes, "That's great." Anyway, so he says, "Right, we'll we can't get through. We'll have to climb over. And then it shows the kids, and I'm looking. There we go. She'd easy fit through there, wouldn't she? He would as well. They'd easy fit through that gap. He probably would as well, to be completely honest. If needs must, I'd squeeze through that. It's a massive hole, that, isn't it? But no, they go climbing over. Meanwhile, Ellie's hit a dead end because he can't read the schematic. So Ian says, just look above and follow the pipes. Hope she's following the pipes in the right direction. But anyway, I wouldn't be. Right, they're climbing over. Right, she gets to the, because we're on the, it's all tense now. They're on the perimeter fence, the electric fence. Why did they just go through the bit that the camera went through? Look, that bit there that the camera went through. They're climbing over. Right, so she's getting ready to switch the power on. She's priming it up and pressing the buttons. And then, there we go, push to close. And then suddenly the comes on. The fence isn't on yet, but the alarms are going off. And Tim Stoke is scared now. But anyway, she's going through, got to tap power on the individual park systems. And luckily, perimeter fence is the last one. Because it shows us here she's going down. There we go, down the bottom one. Perimeter fence is the last one, thank goodness. Anyway, so Tim's scared now. He says, I can't move. And so Tim jumps. I'm not jumping. So I've got to get Tim. And says, all right, I'm going to jump. And he goes, 3, 2. And then, 1, 2. And then, there we go. She turns on the power and he gets electrocuted and blown off the fence. And his heart stops beating. Well, he stops breathing. Anyway, she says, I think we're in business. But then a raptor appears behind her. But it was just waiting. Was it just waiting until she'd got all the power on? I don't know. But anyway, she runs away and hides. And then a hand appears, and she goes, oh, she feels this clammy, plasticky hand. She says, oh, Mr. Arnold, but it's just his arm. I mean, he might be fine somewhere. Just had his arm. He might have caught his arm and ripped it off. But he might be fine. He could have put a tourniquet on, maybe. We don't know, because we never see what happened to the rest of Mr. Arnold. I think he's still alive. I haven't watched Camp Cretaceous. That cartoon. I've watched season 1, and I keep forgetting to watch the rest of it. It's on Netflix. Maybe he's in that. I bet he's in. Anyway, she gets out. She escapes the thing and closes the door. She slams the door on the maintenance shed, and escapes. Right. Meanwhile, Mr. Muldoon is still. He thinks he's stalking the raptors, but he's the one that's been hunted, and he sees her. I've got her. And then but as we know from earlier, raptors are pack hunters, and if you see one, it's the ones from the side that get you. And there we see she's there in front. But it's the one at the side that he needs to worry about. There it is, look. Oh, pardon me. And it gets him. It gets him and eats him. There we go. So that's the end of Mr. Muldoon. I like the way it blinks, this. Can they do this, with puppets, or is it CG? That quick nictating lens. Can they actually do that, in real life? Is it practical effect? Or is it CG? I don't know. But anyway. Tim's not breathing, so he's giving him CPR. And luckily, Tim is fine. And he goes 3. So anyway, they get to the visitor's centre. Right. Need to get Tim to a doctor. But there's nobody about. They're calling, is anybody here? So he's got to go find. So he leaves them. I suppose they think they're safe. They're in civilization now, aren't they? So they think they're safe now. So he can go and find everybody else. So Tim's going to eat loads of sweets and Lex is going to eat loads of fruit. Alan finds Ellie. There she is. With her very nice bottom. They embrace. See, Lex is eating all the manky fruit and broccoli. Whereas Tim's eating all the good stuff. Bless him. With his ear. He's got a very Trump-like ear. I shouldn't laugh. Too soon. Anyway, then she sees something. Does Ellie with the jelly, and the jelly starts shaking. She sees something. What she's seeing is that shadow of a raptor. So they go and hide in the kitchen. Another tense scene in the film. Here we go. The raptor comes up to the window, and then we cut to the control room. I think he's got a gun now as Alan, and he says, "Sure, the other raptors, trapped." He says, "Yeah," because she's got one trapped in the control maintenance shed. He says, "Yes, unless they've figured out how to open doors," and they have. But then again, so's my cat. My cat's figured out how to open doors. Can't lock her in any room. Because sometimes she runs about like a loony on a night, like cats do. So you think, I'll lock her in the kitchen or whatever, where she's got her food and a tray. She's fine. It's not a tiny room. Lock her in there. But no, she can get out. She just jumps up at the door handle and opens the door and comes running upstairs. So she's as intelligent as a raptor, is my cat. Anyway, so they get in. Look, there we go. They get in. Now, if you watch this, let's see if I can find this. The raptor comes in now, and it calls for its mate. Is it this one here? Is that it there? You can see the hand. Because apparently these are puppets, and there's a man inside operating it, but somebody was steadying it. I think that's another person's hand steadying it, because I think it moves away in a moment. Or it could be, or let's have a look. Is it that? I've gone too far. Yes, there, look, yes, it was. Yeah, just there. You see the hand of a handler. Anyway, so they're hiding. So the two raptors come. Here we go. There they are. I don't know if that's CG or a puppet one. I don't know. I can't tell. I think it's I don't know, to be honest. I genuinely don't know. If it starts walking, it's... these are CG ones, aren't they? You can tell these are CG ones. So anyway, they're hiding about and moving things. We see them jumping up on tables. I like this where it's walking and tapping its toes. Tick, 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 tick. And jumping up on the work surfaces. And anyway, there's an evil ladle in this film. This ladle here is just evil. It wants Tim to get eaten because it just throws itself off this off its hook. It's just there on the hook, perfectly fine, and it just throws itself. Look, just wow! I'm giving you up. So they go running again. Tim's hiding. Oh, Lex. She tries to draw it away. It's looking round there. Look, and she's using another whatever, and attracting their attention. There we go. She's banging with another ladle, not an evil one this time. And I thought it was supposed to be intelligent. Obviously, this one can't tell the difference between a reflection and real life. Anyway, she's trying to get in there. Then go. That's what the raptor can see, and it thinks that's her getting in, but it's a reflection. You see, so can't it tell it's a reflection? We see in 3D, don't we? We can tell when things are on a flat surface, but obviously because it's film and it's Spielberg. Anyway, it comes bombing down, look, and smashes its head and stuns itself, so that gives a chance to escape. She gets out. And then he goes running for the fridge, and he falls in the fridge and then comes back out. The raptor follows him in, and it slides on the cold thing. And they get it in and lock it in there. So there's just one now. Except there's another one in there. But there's one locked in the fridge. That's definite in the freezer. That's definitely not getting out. Unless they've figured out how to open the freezer door, which is a bit more complicated. But there's two in there now. The one that's in the maintenance shed, and I presume the big one, which is this one, I presume. It's watching them. Hang on. Where are we? It's watching them and snarling. Look, does it snarl? So it's the baddie one. So they come running. They go down to the control room, and the door locks are not locking. And the raptor appears and he's got to stop it. Ellie helps, but not very well. And why don't... he's trying to get to the gun. He drops his gun there. And all Tim's doing there, look, he's just standing there going... Oh dear. Sorry I disappeared. Hang on. Sorry I disappeared. A little tornado, isn't it, in my house? Oh, hope you're all right. Well, you must be because your internet's back on. Hope everything's fine, though. Crikey. Blimey O'Reilly. Hope you're okay. Thank you for coming back. You didn't have to. Just make sure your house is okay. Blooming number. Took out my car and roof. Bloody hell. Using my phone. I think you ought to go and sort your house out, mate. Never mind my stupid live stream. Bloody hell. I hope everything's okay. I do genuinely hope everything's okay. Crikey. Bloody hell. I think I've got it bad with my cat. Making, interrupting the stream. But go and sort things out. But thank you for thinking of coming back in. It'd have been the last thing on my mind if a tornado had come destroying half my stuff. Anyway. I hope it's not too badly. Hope it's not too bad. Hope you're insured. Anyway, right. So we'll carry on. What was I saying? Oh, Tim. He was jumping about. Why don't you just give Alan the shotgun that's lying there on the floor? But anyway, she can work out the computers. Look, it's a Unix system. Is that what's his face? Is it Oppenheimer? Is that what I'm thinking of? Yeah, I think it is, isn't it? Anyway, whatever. He's holding the door, and Ellie's helping him hold the door shut, and he can't get to the gun. Why doesn't Tim just give him the gun? He can't reach it. Look, I can't get it unless I move, she says. But she's not doing a huge amount there where she is, because she's right by the hinges, Does she know anything about leverage? But anyway. But there we go. It's trying to get in. Look, oh no! But I thought she was a hacker. Why does she just type in stuff? And all these lines of code coming up. She should be. She's a hacker. That's what she says earlier on in the film. But no, bloody point and click, innit? Anyway, she gets it all working. The door locks. Luckily, he shuts the door just as the door lock activates. I'm going to show it. There we go. Now in my luck, the lock had gone out, gone ding, while the door was still open, and then the raptors would have eaten everybody. Anyway, everything comes on, the phones are working. It says, the children are all right? Yes, they're fine. Phone the mainland, tell them to tell them to send the helicopters. We're getting out of here, but then the raptors get in. There you go. It's going to cut through the glass. What, has it got a glass cutter, the raptor? Is it using its claw? I thought she said come through the glass. It's going to come through the glass. But then he helps it because he shoots the glass. Shoot the glass. And the raptor comes bursting through. As we'll see in a minute. Anyway, so they climb up this ladder. Step ladder. Like a ladder match. It's got the money in the bank thing up there. And the raptor comes smashing through onto the tabletop. Or desktop, should I say, kicks the ladder away. Is this the bit where we see... Is it? Hang on, just bear with me. Is it this one? Where are we? No, it might not be this bit. There's a bit where you can see it and it's got the letters on it. Come on, you're showing us. You're going to show us. Oh, for God's sake, it might not be that big. Anyway, there we go. There we go. Why is that on it? It's the DNA letters, isn't it? GATC, GATCA in various configurations, which is adenine, cytosine. I'm not remembering it. I'm reading it. Cytosine, guanine or guanine, or I don't know, and thymine. That's what makes up DNA, them 4 base chemicals. So that's where you get to. That's what the film Gattaca. That was what that were about. Gattaca, or DNA. GATC basically. Right. Why is it? Is it supposed to be off a screen or what? I don't know. Or is it supposed to be like the light from the grid that's above? The grating, that lot up there. I don't know. I don't know why they've done that. I don't know why. Anyway, but it nearly gets Lex, because there we go. It pops up and Lex falls down after he boots it in the face, and Lex falls down, and we see that it's not Ariana Richards. It's a stunt woman, and so they had to replace her face with Ariana Richards. You can really tell. I mean, nowadays it'd be more smooth, but she looks up, because if she hadn't looked up, it'd have been fine, but she looks up. There you go. And they had to film Ariana Richards' face looking up, and then superimpose it over the stunt woman's face. You can tell it's a stunt woman because she's all buff and muscly. Anyway, so they pull her up, she's fine. Right, so anyway, they find themselves in the main, I don't know, what they call this, rotunda. The rotunda. They find themselves back there with the skeletons. And the original plan for this was just to be facing the raptors, and the raptors end up getting impaled on the skeletons. But they decided to go a different route, because Steven Spielberg wanted to end the film with a T-Rex, because the T-Rex was the star of the film, as far as Steven Spielberg were concerned. Anyway, they're climbing down the skeleton of some sauropod, and they're climbing down there, and it all starts breaking. Here we go. They're all they're all falling. And hang on. Where's Timmy? Where's Timmy? Is that Timmy? There's a bit. Hang on. There's a bit with Timmy. This bit. He lands on the floor. There's Tim, and then I'm gonna show it. Here we go. This bit with Tim. When we see this heading for him, these bones heading for him. There we go. That's the film that in reverse. He said I had to learn to act in reverse. I don't know what that means, but all they were doing were going, ah! And they started with the camera close to him, with the bones round it. And they just pulled it away rather than having it heading towards him. Anywho, right. The raptors arrive. There you go. She looks looking quite raptorish herself, does Laura Dern there. By the way, daughter of Bruce Dern from Silent Running and other stuff. So here the raptors come. This very Spielberg-y thing here. To be honest, it gets on my nerves. The raptor comes in, it does that. And I thought, you just knew. Steven Spielberg were on set, and he says, he had his hand like that, I bet, and says, I want the raptor to pop its head under the thing, and I want it to look round like that. I want it to look like that, like a bird. And they've just done it exactly like that. Maybe it would do that, but it just annoys me for some reason. Anyway, scream! That might have been when Fay Ray were there. I don't know, but she's screaming her head off. But anyway, so they're surrounded by raptors. See, there's one there, and then another one appears there. And oh no, they're all done for. They don't know what they're going to do. And the raptor's about to jump at them. This one here is about to jump at them. So obviously, again, there's no peripheral vision going on in this film. Unless T-Rexes are really, really quick. Or maybe they've got some sort of cloaking device. I don't know. But as the raptor's about to jump at them, there you go, it gets snapped up by the T-Rex. Just appears from off screen. And in the making of, the CG chap was saying, where did it come from? And Steven Spielberg was saying, it just comes from top of screen. That's where the T-Rex comes from, top of screen, and grabs hold of the raptor. I said, no, but where does it come from? But as I said earlier on, Steven Spielberg doesn't care about what's happening outside the frame of the movie. It doesn't exist. It only exists when it comes into frame. It doesn't matter where it was before. But they do if you look, it is kind of answered. Because as we see the T-Rex chomping on the raptor, you can see there's actually a big opening there behind it. So it could have come in through there. I reckon that's just accidentally there. I don't think the thought of that. But anyway, dealt with that one, and then the other one decides, ooh, I'm going to get you. So it has a run at it, and then it starts chewing at that. Anyway, so they get out. Hammond appears with Ian in a gas jeep. That's Ian's foot. So after careful consideration, I've decided not to endorse your park. And he says, so have I. Meanwhile, the T-Rex finishes off the other raptor, throws it into the skeleton, like that. That's the end of that one. Then hang on. Then it has a good old roar, like that. And the banner falls down when dinosaurs ruled the earth. And then we see that again in, I can't remember which one. Do we see it again in The Lost World? Because that's on Isla Sorna, isn't it? We see it in, is it in Jurassic World we see that banner? We see it on the floor, don't we, in one of the films? It might be Jurassic World. Because that's on Isla Nublar, isn't it? And this T-Rex is supposed to be the one that's in Jurassic World. It's the same one, apparently. Anyway, so there we go. So, obviously, the T-Rex is the ruler of the dinosaurs. Right, they arrive at the helicopter. Helicopter's arrived. They pile in. One last look back. There's Hammond at his failure. Hey. So they're flying away now, safe and sound. He's there with the kids because he likes kids now. She's thinking, I don't like kids anymore. I don't want any. Whereas he wants millions, and she's thinking, I don't love him anymore. I'm gonna shack up with some other bloke for Jurassic Park 3. So there. As they look out the window, see some pelicans flying away. Birds being modern day dinosaurs. That's just to remind us that dinosaurs evolved into birds, and that's the best way that they should be, I suppose. And the helicopter flies away, and that's the end of the film. There we go, directed by Steven Spielberg. An amazing film. For a while, it was the most successful film of all time. I don't know what supplanted it. Probably Titanic, 1997, wasn't it? Titanic. So probably the most successful film until Titanic, probably. Made over $1 billion at the box office back in 1993. So anyway. So there we go. That's the end of Jurassic Park. Amazing film. Amazing film. Let's go back to the T-Rex if we can. Bet I don't land on it. Ooh. Oh. Near enough. There we go. A cool film. It's more than cool. It's amazing, isn't it? I know I've taken the mickey and stuff, haven't I, a bit, and pointed out, little mistakes and inaccuracies, but it's still an amazing film. Steven Spielberg's still the best, even though he doesn't care what's happening outside the field of vision. But anyway, never mind. So there we go. That's the end of Jurassic Park. It's a very good film. That's something of an understatement, Josh. But bet your harpoon would make short work of that T-Rex, wouldn't it? Right through the head. Boom, there we go. Dead. Done. Right. We'll leave it there. So, what's coming up next? I can't remember. What day are we on? Wednesday will be News Day. I think there's been some announcements, haven't there? Have they announced a Star Trek film or something? I don't know. I've not kept up with the news. I'll have to check tomorrow for the news. But there'll be some news, won't there, I imagine? But Friday's Appointment with Fear this week. We're doing The Fourth Kind, starring Mia Jovovich. I wondered, is this a horror film? I thought, yes, it is a horror film. Some people call it just a thriller or a chiller, but I think it is horrific in places. A really good film. I really like it. Directed by, I can't remember his bloody name, Olasante Onsanami, something like that. Who's more famous now is one of the Star Trek directors in Star Trek Discovery. But that's on Friday anyway, The Fourth Kind. I really like that film. Just wish they'd show a bit more when stuff happens, because it's supposed to be, it's kind of a bit like a found footage film, a bit. And when stuff happens, all the cameras all go doolally, and it's quite kind of annoying. But anyway, Bristol great, apart from that. Right, we'll leave it there. So thanks, Josh Temple, for keeping me company with your harpoon in hand. And I hope Windgrace sorts out his car and his roof. Blimey, tornado, didn't he? Oh, he had tornadoes in New York State. Not ones that did damage, anyway. Thought they were all in the Midwest, but obviously not. Crikey Moses. Right, we'll leave it there. So, thanks for watching, wherever you are. Look after each other. And until next time, I'll say the